So let's take a quick tour around this box before we do anything else. So the PlayStation 5 branding and the way the boxes look is very consistent if you saw my video on the PlayStation 5 remote control. So you have, your blue on the top, you have your PlayStation branding, your Sony branding, you have your characteristic PlayStation buttons all represented on with gray on sort of an off-white. You have a representation of what the charger looks like here on the front of the box, and this is in several languages here, as you can see. DualSense charging station, but you have this in 3 different languages here. And it's very straightforward. On the side here, it tells you what the contents are. We showed you what the contents are. We're going to go into detail on that. On the back here, it shows you how you actually charge up those controllers. And I will show you the PlayStation 4 version of this, which is very similar. On this side, it says compatible hardware. It's the DualSense wireless controller. So that is the box. Let's get into the main event here. You have basically the charger, and you have the means to connect that charger to the wall. Here in the United States, we have our characteristic plugs, and let me just get this little twist tie off of there. You have your regular figure 8 plug, you have your AC adapter here. Plug that in. It's a basic cord. I would say that the power cord itself is probably 5 feet in length, and then this cord here, let's get this off of here, is probably an additional 3 feet. So you're probably looking at approximately 8 feet on this. So depending on how your setup is, that may be a good or a bad thing. For me, I generally plug these things or station these things very close to where an outlet is. Here's all the important information on the AC adapter itself. Let's put that to the side. Now let's take a look at the charger. Everything has the same aesthetic as the PlayStation 5. You have the white panels with the glossy black interior, and I don't see any blue on this, but it matches up with the look of the PlayStation 5. It's sort of a wedge shape. It's fatter at the back and a little bit thinner up front, not by much, but it kind of mimics the top of the PlayStation 5, where the 2 fins are. The glossy black plastic is in the center. You have your PlayStation branding here, which is in a matte plastic. Then you have your charging docks here, and it actually clicks a little bit when you would put a DualSense in there. And then you have your 4 connectors on there. Of course, this will charge 2 DualSense controllers. You kind of see how the cradles will hold the controller in there. I don't have a DualSense at this moment because I don't have my PlayStation 5 yet, and I decided not to purchase a second controller at this time. I'm going to wait for when they have different colors. But I will do a follow-up on this when I actually have a PlayStation 5 in my hands. Inside these cradles is a matte black plastic where the DualSense will sit in, and again, you have that clicking sound where both of those contacts are. On the bottom of this, you just have nothing except for the 2 white panels and the glossy interior, as my cat wants to chime in there. On the back, you have your Sony branding, as well as all the certifications and important information on this. This is the model on this is CFI-ZDS1, and it's made in China. So the connector, the power connector, is just going to plug in up top here, and there we go, like so. It's flush with this area here. And the side panels here are a white matte plastic. Give you a view of it from the bottom. From the left side. from the top, or actually the rear of this. I should say that this is the front of it, and this is the rear of it. You do have your Sony branding, much like the PlayStation branding up here, in sort of a frosted finish over that shiny black plastic, or glossy black plastic. Here is the right side, back to the front, and you do have sort of a rubberized strip here on both sides. Doesn't extend all the way, but a good portion of it, probably about 4 inches or so on either side. Put that on the ground there, or on the table, and then you would mount your DualSense controllers in there. So this is obviously a DualShock 4, and this will not work with this charger because the connector is different on the bottom. This is just a slotted connector, whereas this has the 4 pins with a plastic black peg in the center. So for contrast, this is the PlayStation 4 model. And I actually don't know if I have the unboxing of this on my channel. I know I did an unboxing of it. Have I posted it? I don't know. If I have not posted it, I will post it as soon as I possibly can. The difference is, and I believe this was only released in Japan, I think. I know that there were several third-party options here in the United States. I imported this from Japan. So you have a very similar setup where you have on the bottom, you have your plug, and that is hidden, and then on the top you have the 2 cradles for the 2 DualShocks. The difference with this is that you have a different connector, as you can see there. And I was always very careful when I would put a DualShock in here because you want to make sure that it matches up correctly and you don't scratch up the DualShock or mess up the connector, although the connector does seem pretty robust there. So I was always very careful before I would plug it in, but it just sits in there like so, and then you plug it in, you can do 2 at a time. So the concept is identical. Hopefully, though, this will be a little bit easier where you don't really have to match much up. You'll just kind of sit it in there and charge up the DualSense. But again, since I don't have a DualSense, I can't try this out, so look for the follow-up video that I will hopefully be posting tomorrow, or at least within this next several days. So that's going to do it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. If you like what you see, please subscribe. And as always, if you want to help out this channel, you can give me a thumbs up. You can share this video on your favorite social media, or you can actually join my Patreon, all of which is greatly appreciated. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.